Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be working on, as soon as this goes into focus, some emojis. We'll do this one today. I'm trying to get that into the whole camera. We have some emojis to make throughout the week. I've got this guy here too, the rolly eye guy. And I got him, who's not going to be this big. I made him really big for my grandkids, but we're going to make him the same size as these ones. So, just a fun little project to do. So, let's get started. We're going to be making these parts, so we're going to make this part and then we're going to sew on these things and then we're going to put the backs together. So this is what we're making today, and it has to be decently flat anyway, so it's got a little waves going on, but it'll be easy to sew together. You just got to remember to keep your stitches all the same. So I'm using a number 4 hook, 4mm, and my yarn calls for a 5.5, but I'm using a 4 anyway. And it is, let's see if I can reach, it's a Red Heart Super Saver. It is absolutely ginormous. I have my color adjusted on here, but the color is lemon. And it calls for a 5.5, but see if my camera can focus. But I'm using a number 4. I want it nice and tight. I made these guys with a 6, and you can see the stuffing through, and I just don't want to see the stuffing through. This one I made with a 4, so it's a lot different. As you can see, this looks better. So we're going to use a 4. So let's get started and get all this stuff off my... So first thing you're going to do is you're going to chain 3. So we're doing a fake magic circle. So you're going to double crochet 15 into that first chain that you made. So put all 15 double crochets into that. So that's 15. And the first chain 3 that you did counts as a stitch, so you're going to have 16 stitches all together that you're going to use. So because we're using the first chain, you're not going to go into the first stitch, you're going to go into the second chain of the first chain that you did. And you're going to slip stitch. Be tight. So chain 2, and for this round I just want you to put 2 double crochets into every stitch around. And slip stitch. This is the first chain that we made, so slip stitch right into that second chain. Chain 2. So we're going to start our increase sequence. So I put a double crochet in the same space you were just in, and that gives us 2 stitches in that spot. Just going to angle this down a little bit. So the next space is going to be 1 double crochet, the next space is going to be 2 double crochets, in the same space. The next space is going to be 1, and the next space is going to be 2. So our sequence is 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. And that's how we're going to do an increase. So there's 2 in that space, 1 in that space, 2 in the next space, 1, 2. So do that all the way around. And slip stitch to the same place we've been slip stitching to. Chain 2 and put a double crochet into that same space. So for this sequence, increase sequence, we're going to be doing 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. So 2 double crochets in the same hole, and then the next 2 stitches, 1 each, and then 2 in the same hole again. So we got 2 in the same hole already that we're starting with. So the next one is going to be 1 double crochet, and the next stitch is going to be 1 double crochet. So that's 2, 1, 1, and we start again. 2 double crochets in this hole, 1 double crochet in the next, 1 double crochet in the next, all the way around. So 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. And slip stitch. So moving on, so we just did 2, 1, 1. So we did, in this row we did 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. This row we did 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. So in this next row we're going to do 2, 1, 1, 1. So put a double crochet after you chain 2, put a double crochet right in the same hole next to that guy. So you're starting off with your 2 right away. So in the next 3 stitches you're going to put 1 double crochet each, and that's your double crochet, and that's your increase. I can manage to do it. So in the next 3 stitches, 1 each, and that's your increase. 2, 1, 1, 1. So now we start again. 2, 1, 1, 1. So we're going to do that all the way around. 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. So just go in to that second chain, do your slip stitch, chain 2, final row. This final row, doesn't matter how many you get around, just make sure you count and you know how many you get around. So when you do your second one, which I'm not going to do the second one with you in this tutorial, you're going to have to pause the video, but when you do your second one, you have to make sure you have the same number of stitches. I cannot stress that enough. So let's finish this final row. So double up there like I've been doing this whole time. So put another double crochet into that hole, and then you're going to do 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. So 4 single crochet or double crochets over 4 stitches. So we did 2, 1, 2, 1. Then we did 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. Then we did 2, 1, 1, 1, and now we're doing 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. So we have 2 here, so next 4 stitches are going to get 1 double crochet each, So this will be the row, the round, where a lot of people make their mistakes, including me all the time. I don't think I have yet to build 2 of these that came out with the same amount of stitches. I've had to add stitches or take away stitches every single time. So this is just, I don't know, you get mesmerized, or you get, and you think you've done 4 and you've done 3, or you didn't do 2 in the one hole. This will be the row that you do it. So that's why I say the final row of your second one that you're going to make, you may have to add stitches or take away stitches. So 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. So 2 in this stitch, and then double crochet in the next 4, and that's your increase sequence. That's your final repeat, and then once you're done, you can once you're done, you can fasten off and start your next one if you're waiting for me. But we are going to put our faces on before we sew it, before we crochet it together. It's just a lot easier to sew your faces on. So if you do make your other one, don't fasten off. One more. And then I'll count my stitches. So you can fasten off with this guy. I'm going to count my stitches. So I have 77. So if you don't have 77, it's fine. I just have to make sure the second one I make has 77. So it's no big deal. Like I said, we're just putting faces on these, so you can fasten off just a normal way. You don't need a long tail or anything. So there's our first one, and you can go ahead and rewind the video. So once you're done that, come back and see me, and we'll make some face parts. Alright, so let's make our tears. I'm using a different blue than I have on this one, but I have no idea what color blue it is because there's nothing on my ball. I think it was just sky blue is what I think it said, but it's a Red Heart Super Saver from Michaels. So again, I'm using a 4 hook. I'm not I have all kinds of tears. I make these in bulk, so let's start. So I've got my 2 ends. They're the same size. So unfortunately this is going to be a magic loop, but magic loops are not that scary. Come around your fingers, take that to the back, go over your ring finger and hold it with your pinky. So you're going to come up, you're going to grab this, you're going to pull it under, you're going to turn, you're going to grab this, and you're going to pull it through like a slip stitch. Oops. You're going to stay into it. Don't be like Tara. And that's it. It's already secured because you did that in one step. See? So doing it that way makes it pretty easy, and I know it can be difficult to hold on to when you're trying to put things into the center. We're only doing 6 single crochets, so it's not much. So just stick your fingers in there, go underneath, just keep your fingers in there to keep it spread apart if it's easier for you. And that's our 6 single crochet. So now you just want to pull your tail, close that. Don't close it all the way yet. It's so small, and it's just a lot easier to find where you need to slip stitch if it's still open a little bit. So just go into that first. Easier said than done. Go into this first stitch. My tension is tight today. There we go. Oh, find your working yarn. And do your slip stitch. There. Now you can completely close the circle if you want. You don't have to. You can work with it open and close it later. So chain 1, and you're going to put 2 single crochets into every stitch around. So you did 6, so you're going to end up with 12. So try to keep your tension loose. It's hard enough to work with something so small. So once you get back to the beginning, you can just slip stitch into that chain 1. Just like that. Easy peasy. So now you want to do an increase. So you're going to do 1 single crochet in one hole, 2 single crochets in the next hole, and you do that all the way around for 18 stitches. So chain 1. Start with 1 single crochet. Next stitch, put 2 single crochets. The next stitch, put 1. The next stitch, put 2, and so on and so forth all the way around. And we're back to the beginning, and you can just, oh, maybe I got that a little too tight. Slip stitch. Or not. Chain 1. And now for the next 3 rows, you're just going to put a single crochet in every stitch around for 18 stitches. And for the next 3 rows. So before you start, because this is going to get all cuppy on you, pull that tight and tie a knot. And then you can probably, if I had a needle, just tuck it in to secure. I know we just tied a knot, but just some little extra security, just so that doesn't pop open on you. And you can just snip that off. So I'll get that out of the way right now before it starts to cup on us. And then that's all done. So 1 single crochet for the next 3 rows all the way around. So you can either count or you can use a stitch marker, just so you know where you've left off. And just slip stitch into that chain 1. So I just turned mine right side in to work. It is easier to see the stitches, and you're going to need to be able to see them fairly well in the next round. Okay, I'm I'm chaining. I'm slip stitching and chaining, so I'm not going to pull tight on that because I am tense today. All right. So the next row, so chain 1, in case you didn't catch that. I think I said it. So we're going to be working in this. Let me put that down and show you. Where's my pointer guy? I had a pointer guy. There he is. So we're working in this next row in this guy only. Front loop. Front loop only. We're going to be doing a decrease, and we're only going to be using the front loop. So we're not going to go in like that. We're going to go in front loop only. All the way around, you're going to do a decrease all the way around. So to do your decrease, you're going to go in front loop only. Let me hold this properly. So you're going to have to hold your, it's going to get tight. Front loop only, grab some yarn, pull down through, don't do anything. Come into your second loop over here. Grab some yarn, pull through. You've got 3 loops. You're going to grab some yarn, you're going to come through all 3 of those loops. So this is your decrease. And you're going to do it again. And you're going to do this all the way around. So it's an aggressive decrease, but it's also a tier. Just about done, and it's not like it's a big space you're doing it for, it's a tiny space. So we've come full circle. You will recognize, don't know if you can see there, but you will have elongated stitches too on the top, so you know that you've come full circle. So I've just got a couple more to do. There. I'm not slip stitching, I'm just going to go straight into the very next round, which is going to be 3 single crochets, 1 in each hole. So there's 1. Next stitch, there's another one. Next stitch, there's another one. And now I'm going to do 2 together. So grab some yarn. It's the exact same thing we were just doing, but under both pieces of yarn. And then again, 3 single crochets in the next 3 stitches. And you're just going to keep going around and around and around until it closes up. You're not chaining anymore, you're not slip stitching. And then you're going to do 2 together. So it's getting a little more awkward to get into the holes, but here's 1 single crochet. This should be our last 2, 3 single crochets, and then 2 together. So after you do that, you can fasten off at this point. Leave a little bit of a tail because we're just going to sew that top shut like that. So you got a little bit of a top. You're just going to take your needle and you're going to kind of whip stitch it, kind of, sort of. So let's get his shape going. So make sure this little bobble guy's on the bottom. So pat him down and get his shape. So this is your knot. To come straight across, and you're just going under the stitches. You're just going under those 2, and then pull your knot closed. Do you see? And then after you've snugly pulled him down, just hold it. And you're going to come in through the side. There's a side stitch there. Go up over the knot, kind of press the knot down and go through the other stitches on the other side, and then pull, and that is it. You can do whatever you want at this point. I'm keeping my tail, so I just brought him back up through the center because I kind of want to use him to go into here to to attach him, so I'm going to keep my little tail here. You don't need much to sew him on because I don't sew this on all the way down. I only sewed this part on, so that's all we're gonna do. So pause the video or rewind the video, make your second one, and then we'll meet back here to do the mouth. Alright, we're back. So we're gonna do one of these smiling mouths because he's laughing his butt off. So we are gonna start with white. To do this, you don't need much white. I just kind of got a little bit of white here. You don't need much. We're going to use the number 4 like we have been. And then you're going to need your black. Let me move my coffee out of the way. I dump my coffee all over the place. And then you're going to need black. Oh my gosh, I'm getting all tangled. So let's get started. So start with white. You make a slip knot. And you're going to chain 15. And you're going to start in the second chain from your hook, the only one you can get into. You're going to single crochet back up for a total of 14. So you don't need a whole lot of white because this is pretty much it for your pearly whites. And the white I'm using is a gorgeous pure white. It's a Red Heart Super Soft from Michaels. And I think that's just the color pure white. It's gorgeous. It's almost shimmery. And there's your smiley pearly whites. Alright, so we've got our pearly whites done. We're going to move on to our black. So before you chain 1, add your black. And then chain 1. Don't be like Tara. Chain 1, turn your work. And now you're just going to single crochet all the way back up. I'm going to pull on that to tighten it a little bit. We'll tuck all that in, so we're just going to single crochet 14 all the way back up to the other side. Chain 1 and turn your work. So now we're going to start our decrease in the first 2 stitches. So same as we were just doing. And then you're going to single crochet. So in your first 2 stitches and your last 2 stitches you're going to do the decrease and then just regular single crochets in between. So on the last 2, you're going to do a decrease, chain 1, and turn your work. So we're going to continue to do the decrease until we have 4 stitches left on top. So the first 2 and the last 2 will be our decrease. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches left. This should be your last row. And then don't fasten off. We're going to go single crochet all around the whole entire outside of the project. So we have 4 stitches left. You're just going to chain 1, and then from here you're just going to go around the outside of the perimeter wherever you can get your hook in. So I'm just going to try to get my ends in there because it just secures it better. I'm going to put 2 in the corner because it'll give it a more of a rounded look. Put 2 in the corner. It just looks better. It rounds off the mouth. And once you get back to the spot you started in, you can just slip stitch into one of them chains and fasten off. We'll use this to tie a knot at the back after we've sewed our work on. But just to secure, I'm going to cut my way, and I'm just going to secure this, but keep this little straggler guy. So there, we got the mouth done, and we can move on to eyebrows. Alright, so let's make the eyes, the laughing eyes. Same needle, number 4. You're going to do a slip knot, and you're going to chain 17. So you're going to single crochet back up 7, starting in the first chain you can get to, which is the second one from the hook. So you're going to skip 2. And you're going to go into the next one, and you're going to single crochet 7. Oh, and you're going to fasten off. It's as easy as that. I'm going to leave a tail, pretty long tail for sewing. Knot. There we go, we got one eyeball done. Let's do a second one. I'm going to chain 17. And in the second chain from the hook, you're going to single crochet 7. You're going to skip 2, and you're going to single crochet 7. And fasten off with a long piece. And there's our second eyeball. So there's our 2 eyeballs. So all that's left are eyebrows. And these are very, 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 very quick, just like the eyes. So you're gonna make a slip knot. You're gonna chain 8. You're gonna single crochet 7. Then you're gonna fasten off and make your other one. It is just as easy peasy as that. There. Eyebrows are nice and short. So make your other one and then come back here and we'll put it all together. Alright, so let's sew some faces on. So get your one piece. So we're going to start with the mouth and work our way up. You can use my reference if you want. So we're going to start with the mouth and work our way up. Oh, I almost lost an eyebrow. So I'm just going to get some black yarn. So I want to tie this in a knot at the back, just for added security. Sorry, I gotta move this guy out of my way. So I lined him up with this just after the first row. So I think I'll do the same thing. So the first row, and I'm just gonna put that guy right down on that line, just as a reference, and I'm going to try to center it as best as I can. So I'm just going to come up, and you want to come up into the stitches. You don't want that to fold over. So pull through what you can, but leave a tail at the back for tying, like enough that you would need to tie a knot. And then we're going to sew around, come back down through here, and then tie the knot at the back, just for added security. So this doesn't have to be too close together, but just make sure that you're going up and down. It's probably not easy to see, but up and down through the stitches. Other one, and then we're just going to tie a knot just for added security. Doesn't have to be tight, don't have to pull tight, just tie a couple of knots in there, and then you can just cut that bad boy off like that. So there's the mouth done. So we'll do our eyeballs. So we did leave some yarn on our eyeballs. My needle. So this one's going to be where we're going to tie our knot to. So I'm just going to figure out where I want my eyes. So use your rows as a reference point. So I'm going to put that corner on the same row line. And then that's going to come down to the point, to the middle circle, I think. So I'm just going to stick that in to anchor it. Anchor that part in place anyway, and then I'm going to thread this part. I'm going to sew with this part. And hopefully I have enough that I'm going to come back around here to tie my knot. So flip her around, tie your knot. I didn't pull tight when I tied that because I need to keep that shape. So we're going to do the same thing with this guy. That looks freaky. Freaky deaky. I gotta cut a little bit of this. I took too much, so tie my knot. Alright, let's get our tiers. So one of my tiers has this, and one of my tiers doesn't, because I made this ahead. I made this last night. I made all my tiers. I got other tiers. I make I make bulk. So figure out where you want your tiers. In the emoji picture itself, which I'll show you in here, they come right off the corner of the eyes. So we'll take the one that we just made with the string and we'll just stick it somewhere near the corner of the eye, and we'll just put it in place like this. And then you're going to want to come up into it. Down through again, because we're just fixing the top. So when you come up again, come up just through the yellow right there or anywhere. And now we're going to go across just like that. Sorry, on camera would be more helpful. So we're just going to go across like this, and we're going to make sure our needle's up higher, and we're going to pull tight to fix that onto there, and then we're going to go back down through the yellow. So now that that's fixed in place, I can just make a knot. Oh my good lord. Don't make videos when you have the flu. Especially if you get dumb. So we're just going to make a knot like this. Here. Oh, it came undone again. And then you're just going to tuck this away, preferably at the back underneath, so that you don't see it through the yellow. So try to stick to the rule of three different directions. If it tries to unravel, it has to go in 3 different directions to do so. So if you've ever heard of the rule of 3, that's what it is. So I need a piece of blue yarn. That's probably too long. So if you're putting it on this way, so if you've made your tiers ahead, if you're making this again for yourself, and you've made your tiers ahead, this is the best way to do it, because you can just tie the knot at the back. So when you come up through into it, you're just gonna do the exact same thing, is just leave a hunk hanging at the back so you can tie a knot. So it's actually a lot easier to do it this way than the other way. But I've given you two different options. So we're going to go up. Oh, I just poked my finger. We're going to go up again. And we're going to go back down just through the tier. So go through the tier this way. Make sure I'm on camera. So go through it that way. And now back down through the yellow, trying to keep it as close to the tier as you can. So back down. And pull tight to fasten. Now, you can do that a second time. I think one time is good because we get to tie a knot. So it just secures it perfectly fine. Pull that tight though. Like all your other knots, I say don't pull tight because you're going to misshapen something, but you're not going to misshapen the tier. It's 3D, it's rocking, it's out there. There. So the tiers are on. Now it's not looking so creepy. So we're going to put our eyebrows on. Hi. I have an eyebrow that's MIA, so I had to whip up another one. I have no idea where my eyebrow curled off to, but I can't find it anywhere. So let's take a look at our emoji. Those eyebrows are a little high, I think, in this emoji. They're a little high, I think. Let's refer to the picture. There we go. That's the best I can do on my face. So your tears will move around because my tears on here don't really move around since it's stuffed. I mean, I can move them, but they really don't move. Once it's stuffed, it shouldn't move. So now that we've got everything on and we have everything tied and everything kind of snipped down, then we can go. I'm going to put my seam and my seam together. So we can start sewing. Let me get my yellow. Or not. Where is the end of my yellow? There it is. Okay, so we're going to crochet this together. And this is why it was so important to make sure you had equal number of stitches. So first, to make it easy on you, you can make a slip knot. Take it off. Find the 2 stitches that you're going to be working with. Put your hook back on. Pull that all the way through and secure it. And then in the same stitch, you're going to put a single crochet just for extra security. So now what you're going to do is you're going to single crochet in every stitch around. Leave an opening for stuffing, but you're going to go stitch for stitch. And that's why it was so important to make sure that you had an equal number of stitches, because you're just going to go stitch for stitch all the way around under both. So you should have 4 pieces of yarn on your hook when you go in, because you're going under those 2 and you're going under those 2. And you're going to go stitch for stitch all the way around. If you don't go stitch for stitch all the way around, you're going to end up with bunches, and it's going to be quite noticeable. So I'm going to speed this up so you can pause it if you want, and then meet me back here and we'll stuff it. So keep doing this until you have it about 3/4 of the way done. Alright, I'm to the point where I can start sticking some stuffing in there. So when this is just polyfill that I get at Walmart for $5 for a 16-ounce bag, just kind of pull it apart. Before you stuff it. I'm just going to pull this out here. And you just obviously shove it in there. So I don't really put a whole lot of stuffing in my guys, just because I don't want their face to be all distorted. So once I get a little bit in there, then I like to just close it up a little bit more, and then I put more in, and then I close it up a little bit more. So, I mean, you're gonna move this around after it's full. Anyway, I could probably put a little bit more in there. It just gives me an idea when I do it that way of how much I can actually fit down the sides without too much. I just need to do this. Stuff it around. Like I said, I'm gonna do squishy face after anyway, and I'm gonna move it around. But I don't like them too full. You can stuff it as much as you want to stuff it. But I do it this way instead of sewing because I like the look it gives all around. You can by all means sew this shut if that's what you want to do. You don't have to do what I'm doing. You can just whip stitch this or something and Sorry, my yarn was stuck. You can just whip stitch this or something, but I actually like the look that this gives around. So a lot of my work I will just single crochet shut. It's faster, way faster. I mean, doing it on camera is not fast because I gotta try to, you know, lean over a camera. But we're almost closed, and then we'll do squishy face, and we'll move. Oops. We'll move all the stuffing around and get it situated where we want it and stuff like that. So, and then we will be all done. So when you get to the end, you're just gonna slip stitch this right into this first chain that you did here, just like anything else. Or you can take your needle and you can do a hidden stitch if you want, if you know how to do that. But it's not really necessary. I think I got some stuffing in that needle pull, that hook pull. It's not really necessary. If you just go into that first stitch and you do a slip stitch, you can't tell really. I mean, you've got this seam anyway, but so we're done. So just fasten off. Push your knot down. You can't really tell once we hide it. You're not going to really tell. I mean, all the action's here, so you're not really going to tell. But we're just going to hide this up into what we just did. So I'm just going to go all along these stitches, kind of in and out, weaving. So when you can do it at the back, like we can. Doing it at the back makes more sense, Tara. So we're just going to weave in and out of our stitches like that. So when you pull on this knot kind of comes down. So from the front, all you're going to see is that little piece, which is no big deal because, like I said, all the action's going on here. People are going to look at this and go, oh my god, you had an emoji. So, I mean, that's generally what the reaction I get. So I'm just going to hidey-ho this. I mean, you don't need to really go that far. I don't think it'll come undone, but cut as close as you can so we can't really see that. And then we're just going to squish him around to move the stuffing around. That's what I mean by squishy face. So once we get his stuffing all moved around, you are done. You are done your laughy face. There's something seriously wrong with this eyebrow. Hopefully your eyebrows came out better than my eyebrows. But there's your stuffy face. Stuffy face. There's your laughy face emoji. Not a stuffy face emoji. A laughy face emoji. There you have it, guys. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.